Hey McCain Fourth Kids, this is Mr. Pete. For those of you struggling with what to do for a friendly letter, this video is for you. Hey everybody, this is Mr. Pete, and today we are going to be working on the friendly letter free write that you guys are all going to be working on today and Wednesday. Of course, you can work on it in between if you want to. When you write a friendly letter, each friendly letter should have 5 parts. Sometimes you could say 6 parts because there's a postscript thing you could do at the end, but we're not going to talk about that today. The 5 parts of the friendly letter, of course, are the following things. You need to have your heading. That's super important. You need to have your greeting, and there's another really cool word for greeting that people use when they're making a friendly letter, and that's called salutation. It just means greeting. The third part is probably it depends, but I would say it's the most important part, and that is the body of your paragraph. And then the fourth part and fifth part kind of go hand in hand with each other. The fourth part is your closing. That's where you'll see words like sincerely or your friend with a comma. And then the fifth part is, of course, your signature. And some would say that's the most important part since that is actually your name. So let's go back up to the heading. And this, of course, is the first thing that people see when they are receiving a friendly letter. And the heading itself can go in a bunch of different places in a friendly letter. A friendly letter is informal, meaning it's not like going to a business to get a job, or it's nothing very formal, a business letter where you have to have things in a certain place. So your heading can go really wherever you want it to go in that top margin. I prefer it for this lesson to be on the right-hand side, but you can really put it anywhere that you want to. So you'll notice that I personally, with this letter that I'm writing right here, I'm going to put the date in the upper right-hand corner. You can also add your address for certain friendly letters, like if you're mailing it to a friend. You're not doing that with this assignment. This is to just somebody. And like I said, our goal is to put these all together in a giant book with Miss Wismer's class. So today's date, the date that I wrote this on was May 10th, 2020. And you go ahead and get that on the top line. Now, some of you might want to put it a little bit above the top line. My preference is you put it right on that line. All right. The second part of this is your salutation. And the salutation, boys and girls, is where you see the term dear. And I'm not talking about the kind of deer that's going to come to your house and eat apples out of your hand. That was weird and random. This is the kind of deer that, shows that you have feeling, okay? So this would be dear, again, Bob or Sam or Joe or Steve or Bonnie or Clyde or Jill. In this case, since we're not writing to any of those people or to any of your friends who have different names, we are simply going to write dear friend. You can get creative with that as well, but you don't want to, again, use a specific name because you're not writing to a specific person. Once you get past the dear part, okay, I do want you to skip a space just to give it some space. In a real friendly letter, you don't have to do that. I generally don't. I usually write it right underneath it. But just for the sake of giving ourselves some space, we're going to skip a spot between our dear friend and our first paragraph. The body of your paragraph is obviously one of the most important parts. It's where you're putting all of the details. Generally speaking, you're going to have 2 to 3 paragraphs in a friendly letter. I a lot of times see 2. This one might have more just because of all the different topics we could come up with. I'm going to show you a few of those topics right now, but please understand that the topics that you come up with to write about this is very personal. So it can be whatever you want. I'm just giving you 4 suggestions of things that you can use. Please know you can do this however you want to. You definitely want to at least have 2 different paragraphs, though, where you have to indent, okay? but it really is up to you beyond that what you want to write about, okay? So once you get past the body of your paragraph, the body of your letter writing, what you're going to do next is you're going to go to the closing. And the closing is very simply one word, and it's usually sincerely. Now, there are other things that we can put here. Again, you could put your friend, you could put your buddy, you could put your son, you could put your daughter. It really is up to you. In this case, since we're writing to somebody who's unknown, we're going to just put sincerely. And that's really the basic thing that you want to do with your closing. The very last thing that we're going to do once we finish labeling everything is we are going to add our signature. And really, your signature should be in cursive. I know that we haven't really done cursive up to this point yet. You might have done it a little bit in 3rd grade. So just a really nice signature, a really well-written name here. And again, I don't want last names, okay? Please just make sure it's your best handwriting so that the person getting this knows that you're taking it seriously. All right, you can see here I'm writing in cursive. That's really what a signature should look like, but I know that everybody kind of does that their own way. It's very personalized. I have friends who do print signatures, so it really is completely up to you. At the end of the day, what we're looking for in this piece is something that you work really hard on that describes your personal situation with what's going on with the coronavirus. I think that writing about this is something that you'll want to remember for the rest of your lives and you'll want to share with others. All right? I hope that was what you needed if you're struggling with the friendly letter.